Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in to Pixel Rich Games, where we strive and make it super hard, super fun. In this episode of Elden Ring, we're gonna talk about how the strength update impacts the 10 classes that we have. Before we jump right in, give your boy some love by subscribing to the channel and liking this video to get YouTube's algorithm to support this channel. Okay, so what changed? To sum it up, equipment load scaled with the strength stat, and that has been changed to endurance. This may change again prior to the release date, but to me, it's looking like this is what's gonna go down. Now, the real question is this a buff or a nerf? Well, the answer to this question is very subjective to the starting class that you want to run. This will impact our early game, but we'll outgrow it for sure later in the game. So let me share my thoughts on how this change will affect the 10 classes, and as usual, we do this alphabetically. For the Astrologers, this is a welcome change. There is no longer a trade-off to not putting any points in strength, and we're gonna get some endurance anyway, so it's a win-win for Astrologers. Next up is the Bandit. Just like the Astrologer, I think this is a big positive for the Bandit. Well, I'm assuming that you don't intend to build strength by picking this class. With this in mind, there's no more need to invest additional points in a strength and focus on dex or some other stat that's aligned with the build you're going for. Arcane remains to be the big wildcard for the Bandit. So far, this stat's not looking so hot, but there's still a chance that this gets changed or may do well with poison and bleeds. For the Confessor, I don't think the change made much of a difference. Confessor starts with 10 endurance, 12 strength, and 12 dex. Endurance we're gonna be raising eventually for sure, but Confessors will be wasting either some strength points or some dex points. If for some weird reason there's a weapon with a requirement for both strength and dex for a faith build, then I guess that's the time that those points are put into good use. For the hero, who's a good fit for players who want to go heavy on strength, this makes very little difference. The biggest change that I can see is having a bit less equip load at the start, because instead of having it based off of 16 strength, it'll be coming from 12 endurance. That's about it. Now, for the prisoner, this is pretty bad news. Yes, the prisoner has 11 for both strength and endurance, so in that aspect, it's pretty much the same. But again, assuming that you want to pick the prisoner for a dex intelligence build, which are both its highest stats, all those 11 strength points go down the drain. On the other hand, if your reason for going with the prisoner is its fashionable helm, just ignore everything I said. For the Prophet, this is kind of bad for two reasons. Prophets start with only 8 endurance points, so in terms of equip load, Prophets will be lagging behind the rest of the pack. Eventually this will catch up for sure, but the bigger thing is it's 12 starting strength that does nothing now. Again, I'm assuming that players that pick the Prophet for their first run are aiming for a Faith Glass Cannon. The Samurai. I think the update didn't affect the Samurai at all. In terms of equipment load, instead of 12 strength, it'll be basing off of 13 endurance. I don't think there's any impact to how Samurais will progress with their builds. The only scenario I can see that the strength points here go to waste is if you decide to go full dex or some other off build. Now, my boy the Vagabond, I think my boy got a bit of a nerf. I'm talking about a flexibility nerf. I was big on the Vagabond being a very good starting pick because it has a solid stat distribution with so many different possibilities. Well, If you were planning on a build that doesn't really need strength, those 14 points in strength won't do anything now. Other than that, I still think the Vagabond is a very solid pick for a starting class. Next we have the Warrior. This one's actually in the same boat as the Samurai. These two are so neck and neck, so just go with Warrior if you want to dual wield like an Arabian Knight, or go with the Samurai if you're more into katanas. Heck, you can even just go for which one looks better for you. Last is the Wretch, the only class that doesn't really give a damn about the update. I've been seeing a lot of players in the comments that are looking to start with the Wretch. Much respect to you. Can't wait to see how diverse the Wretch builds will be. Alright, that's it for me in this episode. Thanks again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video to see more content on Elden Ring. Also, hit that bell to get notified whenever I have new content out. See you on my next vid. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.